G'day everyone and welcome back to Starseeds Down Under. I have a bit of a breaking news that I'd like to actually share with everyone today. That's same report, same website again today, AMG report, but this has basically just come out today and I've only just checked the website, and it's important and pertinent that we all stay up to date with information, especially right now in relation to how the negative or the deep state, etc., could be pulling some cards out of their hat, so to speak, in relation to the election and the coming 48 hours ahead. Okay, what to expect, so to speak. Now, I make this video not in fear, okay? I make this video today in order to inform all of you so that we can stay ahead of the curve, okay? Because really, in the day, knowledge is power, and having an informed mind is a powerful mind, and that's how you navigate through the bullshit, okay? So we've got a bit to unpack today. I've got two reports here to actually get through, so I'm going to bring this to the stage now and start bring the information to you all, okay? So let's get into it, everyone. What do you reckon? Okay, I thank you all too for joining me again for another quick video today, because I know that I've already brought one out and taken up your time today, but this is important, so I thought I'd bring it to you all and your attention. Okay, so breaking news: alert, National Guard deployed amid rising election tensions, voting machine password leak, civil unrest anticipation. Okay, now the National Guard, as you can see here, has been deployed in the US, okay? The National Guard has been activated as election tensions spike ahead of the November 6th. Discover why the military's readiness, allegations of election fraud, and whispers of martial law signal a fight for America's future. Stay informed and vigilant in this crucial battle for democracy. Now, I've just seen, as much as I don't watch the news, I had it on in the background this evening, and I was just floating through the house, and I heard the very same rhetoric being spilled out through the mainstream media. Okay, that they were trying, pretty much saying that there's allegations of election fraud, etc., and that there's quite a good possibility of civil unrest, another good possibility of another repeat of January 6th. Okay, which we're all hoping does not happen. Really, I think that, because we are trying to avoid the worst parts right now. Okay, but that's exactly what the deep state wants. That enables them to bring in their new world order, if you will. Okay, so we can't be in fear of this. Okay, we have to be ahead of the curve and just basically know how to navigate through this by informing ourselves. Okay, America stands at the precipice of history as the National Guard mobilizes, poised for action. The date, November 6th. The mission, to defend the core of democracy against against what many are calling a coordinated attempt to destabilize the nation. Okay, this is not speculation. This is reality unfolding before our very eyes. The warnings were there, indeed they were, and we've seen them for years. The whispers growing louder with each passing day. The military would be the last line of defense in this battle for truth and justice. That's if it had to go down this line. We're hoping it doesn't, but if it turns out to be that way, then we have to go with the flow of things, don't we, everyone? Okay, the National Guard steps in. Why this deployment is critical. This is not just another election. This is the election of elections, really, if you want to look at it. A moment where the fate of the nation, or the world, really, hangs by a thread, because it's all trickle. Happens there, happens here, and happens everywhere. And the guardians of democracy have stepped in to secure that thread. The National Guard's activation is the resounding alarm that echoes through every corner of the country. America's ready for whatever comes next. The question is, are the troublemakers and schemers, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, blah, 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 all those run by George Soros, etc., and all of those foundations, etc., are the globalists ready? Are the people ready? The ones that are going to cause civil unrest, are they really ready for what's about to come and hand them their ass, so to speak? I don't think they're really ready. And I think all of us highly underestimate the military alliance, Sixth Branch, and the Earth Alliance, all working together with the Galactics. I think they've got this covered on all bases. I think all bases are covered right now. And I don't think really the deep state have anything or anywhere left to go, or really pull any real drastic shit, except for really what I would call Project Bluebeam and maybe a couple other small little things to try and cause some distractions, civil unrest, and maybe divide and conquer a few people few 100,000 or a few million people. But at the end of the day, we win, they lose. Are they really prepared for this? I don't think they are. Why now? The show of force before ballots. Why now? Why the show of force before ballots are even fully cast or counted? The answer is stark as it is necessary to prevent chaos, to stop the storm that's been brewing. And finally, because that is the very words that they used here tonight when I was floating through the house, when I had the news on the background. I was doing my washing, okay, and I had it on the background because I like to invert what they say so I can get the truth, okay. And funnily enough, they were actually very straight up front. They said this is the calm before the storm on national TV here in Australia. I do believe that is the calm before the storm, what's about to happen and how it's been brewing, okay. The streets are poised for unrest, and not just any unrest, but a calculated response by those who refuse to see Trump take office once again. And that's because they have something to fear themselves because of their own involvement in things. The deep state's henchmen, those who claim to stand for peace, yet plot under the cloak of night, are ready, but so are we. Here's some more links here for you to go and check in relation to these particular stories, as it's been followed by Medea in the past and reported upon. Trump's victory, the spark of a predicted firestorm. Make no mistake, when Trump is declared the winner, the streets will roar, not with celebration, but with the shrieks of those determined to undermine democracy. Okay, make no mistake, it will happen. They will not go quietly. They never have. From Portland to New York City, these are all Democrat-run cities, we all see. From major capitals to small towns, the pushback will be swift. But the National Guard, standing as the shield and sword of justice, will be there to say, not today, not ever, not on their clock, not on their watch, not in their country, never again. Pray for the best, prepare for the worst, be ready. God bless America. God bless you all. Thank you, sir, Mr. Trump. The deep state, puppet masters exposed. For those still in doubt, let's cut through the noise. The deep state isn't some fanciful myth conjured to stoke fear. It's the unseen hand, the network of power players pulling the strings behind the curtains, thicker than iron. They thrive on deception and manipulation, and their reach extends far into every corner of governance and the media. Their goal, to ensure that any voice, any leader that threatens their dominion is silenced or sabotaged. Well, good luck. And who is more threatening to them than Trump? No one else. He is the biggest threat because he is not a bloodline president who didn't have to fall into line with what the rest of them do. Okay, he's outside that circle. Okay, as reports flood in about voting machine passwords mysteriously surfacing, leaked some say by none other than Democratic operatives, it becomes crystal clear this isn't just an election. This is an operation, a covert mission to control the result, no matter the cost. Patriots, the battle cry is clear. Stay aware, stay vigilant, stay frosty. The fortress of democracy is under siege at this point in time. Okay? Election fraud, the evidence mounts. Now, we all know about 2,000 Mules a few years ago. We all saw that footage. Some like to say it's fictional and fanciful. I do believe that was cyber military intelligence. Had actually tapped into every major shopping centre or mall and ballot box casting centre where boxes were, and there were security cameras. Remember, all security cameras are hooked up to servers. Servers can be hacked. Cyber military intelligence, gain access, boom, gain and download in real time election tampering, ballot box tampering. Okay. That video, I believe 2,000 Mules was 100% full evidence that can be used in a court of law to show that the Democrats stole the last election from Mr. Trump. Okay, that which means they're guilty of treason. You know what that means? Orange is the new black, everyone. And they all say that if he wins, they're going to all leave America. Well, good. Get your jumpsuits on, the orange jumpsuits, and get into a plane and get to Guantanamo Bay as quickly as possible because we're tired of the bullshit. Just let the man have his way and stop holding on for white knuckle. That's what I say. Let the man go and let him get the job done so that we can get on with our positive future and timeline. These assholes are just standing in the way of that. That's all there is. Okay? The words election fraud have become as familiar as the national anthem ringing in the ears of those who understand that freedom is never free. And at this time, the stakes are higher than ever. Leaked passwords, that's not just a headline, that's a signal flare, a bright, glaring warning that the mechanisms of democracy are being toyed with. The cheaters are hard at work, trying to twist, bend, and manipulate the outcome to fit their narrative to usher in a victory for Harris by any means necessary. Okay, now we all know about the Dominion voter machines, okay? They've used them here in Australia as well. So be aware of the federal election coming up here in Australia next year. Because I'll guarantee you, trickle economics, everyone, what happens there happens here. And they're going to try everything they can here to hold on for white knuckle. Because this is, Australia, believe it or not, is the last stronghold for the deep state, okay? Okay, this was why Queen Victoria dispatched Cook to Australia for an island nation where they could see all their enemies coming from every direction. What they didn't count on was their enemies coming from every direction, closing them in from sky, underneath, and from ocean. They're stuffed. Okay, so just be aware. Dominion voter machines have been used there in the past to been rigged for election fraud. They'll be used here again. Okay, be aware of that next year in the federal election here in Australia. Okay, another link here for you to all go check out. Does this sound like fiction? It shouldn't. The warning signs have been there. We've seen them for the last few years, and now they're neon bright, flashing to all who dare to look. Patriots, do you see them? I do. The cheating, the scrambling, the panicked movements of those who know they stand to lose everything. Yeah, they do. They're panicking right now. They're like cockroaches and rats jumping from a ship right now. It's beautiful to watch because they're really under duress. They know that they can't stop what's coming. And they're going to try everything they can. Every power play, every card, every book, everything they've got in the book to try and stop this, but they can't. This is why the National Guard is ready. They're not just soldiers. They are the guardians of the Republic, prepared to hold the line against deceit. Martial law preparations underway. Black Hawks roar over DC. What does it mean when Black Hawk helicopters slice through the sky over Washington, DC? It means the stakes have been acknowledged and they are as real as it gets. These drills aren't for show. They're warnings. Signals that the government is ready to take whatever steps are necessary to maintain order if the situation demands it. Martial law, two words that ignite fear and awe. It's a last resort, a measure that suspends civil liberties to preserve greater freedom and stability. Make no mistake, every patriot out there that's in America right now that is a gun-owning citizen who's a true patriot will do what is necessary in order to make sure that they are free or unhindered by any nasties, let's just say that. And dare say, under that sort of circumstance, it's at enter at your own risk, so to speak. The National Guard will do what they have to do, as will citizens. Critics will balk, calling it excessive, draconian. That's an interesting word. Draconian. We all know what that word is. A throwback to a bygone era, but ask yourself, what is excessive when the Republic is at risk? Well, sometimes you have to become something that you don't want to be in order to maintain stability and freedom. Okay, the answer is nothing. The price of inaction is far too steep. Okay, if you do nothing, we lose far more. Okay, the cost of hesitation is irreparable. This is not a game, it's a war fought in the silence of voting booths and the chaos of city streets. Black Hawks thundering overhead are not just practice runs, they are the promise of readiness, the unspoken declaration that America will not fall. And I dare say you'll see very similar things happening in other countries, including here. An urgent call to patriots, this is our time. This is no time for passivity. This is not the hour to sit back and hope others do the work. Every patriot must be on high alert. Not that we're living in fear, because we want to live in the positive timeline right now and in our mind, body, and spirit. But being alert, being prepared, helps us navigate. Yes? We vote for Trump. We love Trump. It's not just a slogan. It's a statement of loyalty to the principles that built this nation. Love him or hate him, I don't care. Okay, at the end of the day, I've seen a better economy and better world under his administration than I've seen any time throughout my 50 years living. Okay, we must be the eyes and ears, the watchmen who stand guard over the sacred right to a fair election. Document everything. Share what you see. Let no suspicious act go unnoticed. Reports are emerging about the democratic apparatus working overtime to spin narratives, flood polling stations, and challenge every step of this process. The world is watching, and so are we. It's not paranoia, it's preparation. Because when the sun sets on November 6th in less than 48 hours here in Australia, okay, we need to be ready for what comes next, not just in spirit, but in action. The final countdown, what happens next? As we approach 0 hour, the atmosphere is thick with anticipation. Indeed, and so is the bullshit. We know that, what's at stake, and we know who's willing to stand up and fight for it. The National Guard stands ready, not as a threat, but as a testament to the unbreakable will of a nation that will not be bullied into submission. The forces of deception will attempt to rise, but they will be met with a wall that cannot be breached. Okay? The days following November 6th will test every ounce of resilience we possess. Will there be unrest? Absolutely. Guarantee it. I can guarantee it. Will there be attempts to contest, disrupt, and delegitimize the results? Absolutely, without a doubt in my mind. There it says, without a doubt. There is a resolve in this nation, a spirit that refuses to bow. The message to those who would defy democracy is simple. We see you, we are ready, and we will not falter. We do not fear you. The conclusion, stand strong, stay vigilant. America, this is it. And the world, for that matter. The defining moment where we either stand as one or risk splintering under pressure. The National Guard's activation is more than a precaution. It's a signal that we are prepared to defend democracy at all costs. Every citizen has a role to play. Stay informed, stay ready, and let the message be clear. We will not be undermined. The cheaters may try, the dissenters may scream, but the truth and justice will prevail. This is our fight, and we will win. Okay, now there's a video here that I'll play, but I'll play this at the end. I'll come back to this, okay? There's some other links here for other videos, so including Mari Emanuel's shocking call to embrace Jesus. Okay, Yeshua, after his attack here in Sydney, what an eye. Yes, beautiful man, even forgave the gentleman who did it. Okay, now I'm going to move on to this next report so that you can all share this with me as well. Okay, now this is just another little bit of information, just so that you can keep on top of it. Okay, but they are, as I reported earlier and a few months ago, about possible false flag event. They will possibly deploy whatever assets they have for a false flag, including Project Bluebeam, in order to maintain control. Okay, so as it says here, behind the scenes, brace for an attack on US patriots. Indeed, possibly the following days after the 6th of November. And US and DS operators, deep state operators, globalists, preparing to create a huge false flag event we all knew was coming. Okay, so let's get into it. Excuse me. Unprecedented global power struggles unfold as the deep state operatives, advanced military technology, and hidden alliances collide. Now, this is a big report, so stay with me, everyone. From Project Bluebeam and CIA mind control, MKUltra, to election interference, blackouts, and civil unrest, the world faces possible, I believe, possible, not facing chaos, possible chaos. That depends on how much we really do want to believe that the white hats are really in control and how much this could be a really smooth transition, and even so much as how much Medea here might not be even as informed as we hope she is in regards to that, because that, I mean, those very words there do incite fear itself, just saying world faces chaos. Okay, I don't believe that's going to be the case. I do believe to somewhat degree this could be a lot smoother than they're predicting. But at the end of the day, we do have to be prepared, and having knowledge is power, and having an informed mind is powerful mind, as I said earlier. Okay? The world faces chaos, possibly. Secret military operations, ancient hidden technologies, and quantum microchips linked to time travel emerge, revealing connections to the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and the Vatican. Okay, here we go. Patriots brace for the Great Awakening as humanity battles for control amidst military coups, human trafficking exposés, Diddy and everyone else that's connected to it. And going up the list, it's getting bigger. The bullshit's getting thick, with that one. Okay, and the race for 0 point energy. Stay alert as global history redefines itself in real time. Okay, Q, the Storm Rider. Here we go. Q being cyber military intelligence, okay? That's who Q really is. If you believe in Q, that's who it is. Cyber military intelligence. Military game theory, operations and strategies. Ooh, I love that. Game theory. That comes from the movie War Games. Game theory. The forewarning of upcoming events. This is increasing evidence that deep state DS operatives, including members from the FBI, CIA, and other global factions, are preparing a significant false flag. Okay, so be vigilant. This highly anticipated event, which many have warned about, appears to be imminent. We are now at a crucial juncture where this event could reach a massive tipping point, especially in the US. Now, think about it. Wouldn't it be just so coincidental that, oh, we lost the election, let's chuck on the projectors and throw up a big alien spaceship and get them to submit? I mean, how stupid do they think that? It's very coincidental that happens at that point in time. I mean, come on. Is that the best they've got? I mean, really, let's keep reading. I mean, I'm sure there's probably other things they've got planned, but like, really, they're going to use Project Bluebeam against us to keep us in fear and get us to submit and piss my pants. So it ain't going to work. And I hope it doesn't work for many of you as well. I mean, we can only pass this information on to our family and friends to keep them informed too. Okay, so they don't submit. Military game theory operations are designed to allow the enemy to initiate their plans, using their actions against them to expose and dismantle their operations. These strategies involve allowing the enemy to commence their attacks as a strategic trap, revealing enemy operations through their own moves, using ambushes, traps, and arrests to neutralize threats. What does this sound like to you, everyone? This sounds like The Art of War by Sun Tzu, greatest Japanese general in military history. Okay, The Art of War, straight up, that is beautiful. And the deep state are so overconfident with their arrogance that they'll fall into that trap every time, thinking they'll be able to win. They're so overconfident. That is their weakness. As the Emperor said to Luke once in Return of the Jedi, Luke said to the Emperor once in Return of the Jedi, your overconfidence is your weakness. Well, as the Emperor also said back to Luke, well, their faith in each other is theirs. Okay? The Emperor said to Luke, your faith in your friends is yours, right? Well, the deep state's arrogance and their faith in their own plans and their faith in each other of actually proceeding and winning this war is their own undoing in their own weakness. Okay? The snake eating the tail. And by doing what they're doing here and using The Art of War by General Sun Tzu, okay, is the perfect way of getting them to fall into the trap. It's just genius. They wouldn't even be smart enough to read The Art of War. That's how arrogant these wankers are. This approach is vital for securing indictments and conducting investigations within military and government agencies, setting the stage for protocols that may lead to military intervention if necessary. The role of intelligence agencies. Collaboration among intelligence agencies is critical to dismantling networks that protect the cabal's financial institution systems, which global elites have used for decades to orchestrate wars, human trafficking, and blackmail operations. The level of corruption in key agencies is as follows. Oof, here we go, some numbers. CIA estimated to be over 50% compromised, with 20% loyal operatives known as white hats and 30% neutral or non-compliant members. FBI, while harboring more white hats than the CIA, still faces significant corruption. These estimates of percentiles are also subject as well. Okay, so it might not be actually entirely accurate. Okay, it might be more, it could be less. Okay, but I'd say it's more so more. Hence the reason why I believe this war is going the way it is in positivity. Other agencies, Department of Homeland Security, United States Space Force, Naval Intelligence, Military Intelligence, National Security Agency, and similar organizations are reported to be primarily led by loyalists with black hats, corrupt members comprising less than 10%. Okay, well, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good percentile range that I can deal with. But as I said, that's all subject to change. You know, it could be more than that. In regards to black hats, corrupt members comprising less than, I believe, probably 5%, maybe less than 10%. These insights allegedly provide Florida military insiders provided by Florida military insiders contribute to the understanding of the current landscape with these agencies. Okay? Other links here for previous stories in relation to this growing story in relation to these false flags. Previous stories here and links available for you to go and have a look at. Preparing for the deep state event. The deep state is allegedly planning the most extensive false flag operation yet, which could include not only election interference and acts of treason, organising an open military coup, and arresting conservative groups and escalating conflicts to justify their actions, as well as possibly on the horizon Project Bluebeam, okay, in order to get us to submit and piss our pants. These scenarios have been extensively war-gamed by intelligence agencies to anticipate and counteract deep state strategies. Global power struggle and Operation Bluebeam. Here we go. This event is part of a larger global confrontation between deep state forces and loyal factions. The influence of powerful entities such as the Rockefellers, the United Nations, and NASA, controlled by figures like the Vatican and the so-called Khazarian Mafia, points to the efforts to seize total control over global intelligence and media, paving the way for future pandemics and social control mechanisms. Operation Bluebeam is a significant part of that strategy, as I said earlier, involving public consciousness manipulation through advanced technology. Frequency control. Modern communication carries a vast array of frequencies that can influence human consciousness. Military and private intelligence organizations possess technology capable of manipulating brain waves using low LF, low frequency, extremely low frequency ELF, and very low frequency VLF waves. Augmented communication. This technology developed since the 1970s and refined over the years enables the implantation of artificial thoughts and mind control. It can stimulate the release of neurotransmitters such as endorphins, serotonin, and DMT, influencing spiritual experiences and cognitive processes. Wow. The stakes surrounding this impending event are significant, calling for heightened awareness and preparedness among the public. While military and intelligence operatives continue their strategic operations to mitigate these threats, public vigilance and resilience are crucial to navigating the potential outcomes of these unprecedented challenges. As I said, being able to navigate through the potential outcomes of the bullshit that they're going to try and throw at us, okay? Being informed is powerful. The Jesuits and the origins of MK Ultra. Apologies there. The Jesuits were first recognized intelligence agency, laying the groundwork for mind control, techniques that would later evolve into the infamous MK Ultra operations. These programs can be traced back to the Vietnam War, where the CIA engaged in covert activities to control the Vietnam opium trade. Well, I do believe it actually started further back than that. It actually went back to the 1930s and 40s to Nazi Germany. That's where MK Ultra was first designed and put together by Nazi scientists and perfected. And I do believe that they brought that information and those strategies over to the US under Operation Paperclip. So, and therefore implemented under the Vietnam War strategy back then as well. Okay. The Jesuits utilized opium to conduct some of the earliest MK Ultra experiments, leveraging these efforts to establish a foothold in psychological manipulation. The Sovereign Military Order of Malta, or SMOM, played a crucial role in these operations by influencing the CIA and assisting the OSS, Office of Strategic Services, back in the 40s and 50s, in the creation of what would become the US intelligence infrastructure today. Many former CIA leaders discreetly hold positions within the SMOM councils. Wow, there you go. Okay. MK Ultra legacy and sleeper agents. The CIA, SMOM, and the Jesuits expanded MK Ultra projects throughout the United States with activities centered in New York, Florida, Virginia, and California, as well as various universities. These projects sought to create sleeper agents, controlled individuals who could be activated through specific stimuli like sounds, images, or frequency patterns, phrases, words. I'll get into that in a second. These soldiers were so deeply brainwashed that they remained unaware of their conditioning and the powerful psychological operations at play. All right, now the reason why I said I'll get back to that section there, okay? When I was a kid, I was roughly about 5-6 years of age, okay? And I've relayed this in a previous video before, and I'm going to relay and reiterate it again now for you, the audience. I remember back when I was 6 years of age watching a specific episode of Scooby-Doo, okay, with my cousin around about 5 or 6 in the morning, just after the Thunderbirds, okay. And this specific episode had a gentleman with a bald head and a vest on and a pair of pants and that, and he was in a room in one of these houses in a swamp. And the crazy kids were after their guy as usual, looking for the bad guy. And this particular bald guy was sitting in a room, and the phone rang, okay? And when the phone rang, he went over and picked it up, and he was like, hello? Hello? And on the other end of the actual phone, one word came through, and the word was RICO. RICO Act? Yeah. Funnily enough, is that he said the word RICO, and the guy with the bald head instantly goes, RICO, and walks off. Instant mind control, a word, a phrase, activated the sleeper agent. I remember that from 6 years of age, and they're putting that in Scooby-Doo, okay? And I remember that at 50 years of age now. So that is proof that they've been throwing this shit in plain sight, even in kids' cartoons, since we were children, okay? That's a hell of a memory for you, hey? That's a 44-year-old memory, okay? Yes, okay. The past 7 years, countering Project Bluebeam. In recent years, significant operations have been conducted behind the scenes to counter the deep state's advancements, including attempts to initiate Project Bluebeam, which means the deep state might have their efforts thwarted by white hats, okay? The project aimed to use advanced technologies to stimulate large-scale mind control and potential holographic invasions involving UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, or UFOs, okay? Which carries over to my previous video about what I stated about how Elena mentioned and presented in her latest Star Nation News, that these particular hybrid programs and ovum, etc., extracted over many decades from women for the alien-human hybrid program have actually been thwarted now. Those ships with those hybrids on board have actually been taken care of by the Galactic Federation. So therefore, using the false flag projection technology of Project Bluebeam in coalition with bringing possibly these so-called ships in with the hybrids that they've been collecting ovum from and creating these hybrid versions, okay, it's all out the window. It's off the table. They're shitting a brick, okay, because one of the big elements of their so-called power play has been taken away from them. All they've got is the projection holographic technology and other little assets in order to try and make this roll out. A big effort has taken place to take those hybrids out, okay? Not going to happen now, okay? But I do believe they will use the holographic technology to produce a mind control, so to speak. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they're going to try and use it to control the minds of those that are uninformed to basically submit and piss their pants. And there are a lot of them, unfortunately. They will be very scared if they did actually project this sorts of UAPs into the sky, or even if they deployed assets of their own that they still have hidden from the white hats, such as their own arsenal of TR-3Bs. Who knows? You know, I mean, everyone who doesn't know what a TR-3B is would automatically think in their mind, oh, UFO, we're being invaded, okay? It's up to us to make sure that we get this information out. The role of the United States Space Force, Starlink, and the key military operations. Let's get into the good stuff now. The elements of the United States Space Force, along with early initiatives involving Starlink, have been active in thwarting these operations. I knew it. Deep down, so I wasn't going to go on record and say anything about that. But now that I've seen that, wow, that's cool. Before their public disclosure, the United States Space Force and other strategic operations in Hawaii, Arizona, and Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado, okay, supported by insiders from the Air Force and NASA, focused on disrupting Project Bluebeam efforts. These efforts included stopping the development of mind control technologies via 5G frequencies. Okay, so there's been an active operation behind the scenes via the White Hats to stop the deployment of mind control technologies via 5G frequencies. That's reassuring, okay? Preventing engineered earthquakes and taking down satellites controlling global grids. Thwarting deep state military plans for a holographic invasion. Well, it does sound to a fair degree that the White Hats have got quite a good control over there, but never put it out of the back of their mind. I mean, this all still could possibly happen. But I just believe that this personal video right now in this report is just a way of informing us to keep us ahead of the curveball so that if these bastards do try to do this sort of stuff, we have information to guide us through it, okay? These operations are linked to earlier intelligence efforts such as those involving the capture of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, which served as bait in an elaborate sting operations against the deep state. Well, until that is absolutely confirmed 100%, I won't actually believe that. But then again, I mean, this whole website has been pretty accurate with other reports in the past, so I'll take that with a grain of salt right now. And as the information develops and comes out, and the further intel around MH370 comes public, I'll reveal that with you all. I do believe it was dispatched and reassigned designation to Diego Garcia military base, but I'm not sure about that, whether or not that's true or not. But I do believe that there were several individuals on board that ship, on board that plane, that was scientists, engineers, okay, that had backgrounds in relation to those sorts of forms of technologies. Hence the reason why I do believe, to some degree, that report might be accurate, because if the White Hats got hold of them, that would thwart the efforts of the deep state rolling out holographic UAP technology and creating this false flag event. Kind of makes sense. So until it's actually proven, I'll take that with a grain of salt and, believe it with this much, etc. Take it at your own leisure as well, everyone. The Snowden event and its global repercussions. Edward Snowden's disclosures, which came just months before the MH370 incident, are tied to high-level military operations in Hawaii. His involvement and the reasons behind his move to Russia remain highly classified. Indeed, they would be. Oh, wow. Involving interactions with world leaders and sensitive military information. Despite operating in areas saturated with CIA influence, like Hong Kong, known for its role in global money laundering and its financial ties to MI6, London, and the CIA, and the Vatican, Snowden managed to evade capture. This raises questions about how he navigated these operations and the broader implications of his actions. Indeed, it really does. That means he was helped in order to escape the dragnet, if you will, by the deep state that were trying to get a hold of him and make it to Russia, so where he's in a non-extradition country right now, protected by Putin. Hong Kong's role in intelligence and financial power. Hong Kong's strategic position in global intelligence stems from its unique financial system, which is separate from mainland China's and facilitates significant money laundering operations, including funds for the opium trade. This trade played a critical role in establishing the modern pharmaceutical complex and supported global financial powers. Snowden's presence in Hong Kong, a nexus for world heroin exports linked to UK and US intelligence and Rothschild-influenced financial sector, further underscores the intricate web of power dynamics. Another link here for you all to check out. Snowden's true mission and Russia's involvement. Snowden's transfer to Russia was orchestrated by Russian intelligence, there you go, with President Putin's support. Acknowledging Snowden's extensive capabilities, including his photographic memory and knowledge of advanced military technology, Snowden's intelligence work extended through battalions connected to strategic US military bases in Hawaii, Arizona, Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado, and Virginia, as well as operations in Malaysia, which tie back to MH370. Wow. Whoa. That's a bit to unpack there and get your head around, eh? So let's see how true that is in the coming days or coming weeks and months, eh? The reality of advanced military technology and UAPs. Behind closed doors, deep military bases managed a blend of genuine and simulated UAPs supported by cutting-edge technology such as room temperature superconductors and quantum computing systems. Russia and China were aware of Snowden's involvement in these high-stakes operations, recognizing him as an integral player in advanced military technology and intelligence strategies. Wow. NSA Russia communications in 2012. In 2012, covert communication channels between the NSA and Russia were established, setting the stage for intricate intelligence sharing and a complex web of global strategic maneuvers. This elaborate network of intelligence and military strategies underscores the lengths to which global powers and hidden operatives go to influence world events and maintain control through advanced technological means and deep state counteractions. Wow. Admiral Rogers, initiatives and global collaboration. I told you this was going to be a big report, everyone, so stick with me, okay? Around this period, Admiral Mike Rogers, a high-ranking US intelligence leader, initiated contact with key global powers, Russia, China, India, and Saudi Arabia, to coordinate operations aimed at dismantling the CIA's global network and preventing Project Bluebeam. This project was designed to instigate global upheaval, starting with pandemics, worldwide censorship, digital identification mandates, and the overthrow of governments, ultimately placing countries under the centralized control of the United Nations. Wow. Russia's strategic awareness and conditions. Russian intelligence was already aware of the United States' advancements in technology, including the use of UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, which is basically back-engineered downed aircraft that the US have actually captured in UFOs and taken them back for back engineering to basically use for their own, okay, back engineered aircraft. Despite this knowledge, Russia refused to form. Oh, wait a second, sorry. Have to be down here, sorry. Okay. Where was it? Okay. I do apologize. The advancements in technology, including use of the But so did I already read that? Okay, I must have. Okay, Russia understood that the US possessed the technological capability to dominate the world systems using these microchips. Thus, I do apologize about that. I think it actually lost my place just then, but you can go and read it for yourself. Thus, a pivotal agreement was forged between Russia, White Hats, and their US counterparts. This deal was essential for dismantling the deep-rooted CIA, MI6, Mossad, and other clandestine networks which operated under the influence of powerful entities such as the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and Vatican Jesuits. These groups were known for controlling educational institutions and intelligence operations through the Sovereign Military Order of Malta and perpetuating wars, the global drug trade, and human trafficking. Wow. Mutually assured destruction and the 2013 exchange. The terms of the agreement hinged on the principle of mutually assured destruction, ensuring that neither of the two most powerful countries would attempt to dominate or compromise the other. The agreement was sealed in 2013 when Edward Snowden was handed over to Russia, setting the stage for subsequent events. The MH370 incident and its significance. In 2014, shortly after Snowden's transfer, Malaysia Airlines MH370 vanished, carrying on board key scientists, there you go, and engineers, I told you, along with their families. This incident was more than just a tragic disappearance. It was tied to global intelligence and counter operations that influenced strategic and technological and strategic balances. I knew it. The information I'd previously received from other sources actually has just been confirmed and validated by that statement just there. So there you go. Admiral Rogers' leadership and the road to 2016. Between 2016 and 2014, Admiral Rogers assumed control of the National Security Agency, NSA, aligning closely with key figures like Donald Trump, General Mike Flynn, and General Q. Before his promotion. These meetings laid the groundwork for a pivotal shift in US political and military strategy. Okay. The 2016 US elections and advanced Q computer technologies. During the 2016 US elections, here we go, I'm going to love this part. White hats in the intelligence community executed a strategic move that shifted the election outcome in the final 45 minutes using highly advanced Q computer technology. These operatives overpowered CIA supercomputers, resulting in an unexpected victory that stunned political circles. Hillary Clinton's visible shock was a testament to the sudden turn of events. The Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, associated with CIA operations and other intelligence bodies such as MI6, Mossad, and the Five Eyes Alliance, scrambled in a state of chaos for 54 hours as global intelligence channels surged with activities. Wow. Whoa. Yeah. Project Bluebeam and the hidden agendas of power. Project Bluebeam was a part of a broader agenda orchestrated by influential power structures, including the Vatican, Jesuits, and Rothschild's financiers. This plan sought to manipulate global perception and control through technological and psychological means. The Vatican's role was particularly significant, housing advanced ancient technologies beneath its foundations. It's what the miles of catacombs house underneath the Vatican. Okay? You think all those wars were perpetuated for no reason? Yeah, it was basically to control and gain control of hidden ancient technologies throughout history. Yeah. The Vatican's role was particularly significant, housing advanced, beneath its foundations. Artifacts that had been obtained during the Crusades and linked to the early biblical and pre-biblical civilizations such as Atlantis, Sumeria, and Mesopotamia. There you have it, everyone. Love it. Love it when we get validated like that. It really is uplifting because it makes you realize your time and energy spent researching is not for nothing, and that you, ourselves, are not crazy with what we know. It's very validating and very uplifting inside to know that my time has not been wasted. 20, 30 odd years, more so a lifetime of experiences. But really, when you look at 25, 30 years roughly of off and on sporadic research back and forth and cross-referencing, etc., and looking at all the different texts and different civilizations and seeing the stories and what they all speak about those who come from the sky, etc., okay, and all the ancient technologies. I mean, it's not time wasted. It's time very well spent because you see the results and the fruits of those labors when it's in the results like that, in a statement like that. Wow. The Vatican's underground secrets. The Vatican itself is built atop ancient temples and harbors extensive underground tunnels filled with advanced, mysterious technology that cannot be operated by humans. That's right. Unless you have the genetic marker in your genome, okay, which is what I would call off-world DNA, part of your genome DNA, you cannot operate this stuff. Now, we've seen this sort of stuff thrown to us in sci-fi technology TV shows before, such as Stargate Atlantis and other franchises, where you basically touch the technology and it automatically starts up and basically, yeah, you can operate any form of technology that's extraterrestrial off-world with your DNA. But any normal human can't operate this sort of stuff. And this has been divulged and thrown and presented to us by Elena and Dr. Sala and JP with their presentations, okay? And if you'd like, I'll leave some links in the description below for you to go and check those out. Okay. These technologies resonating with specific vibrational frequencies have allegedly contributed to the Vatican's influence. The tunnels are said to connect to over 55 miles of libraries, some of which are classified and accessible only to select personnel. These are all temperature-controlled libraries. Remember the Da Vinci Code with that idiot Tom Hanks? We all know what he is. Okay. Remember those temperature-controlled rooms that he went into? Well, that's underneath the Vatican, okay? That's just one room out of 55 miles of libraries and other rooms that house these ancient technologies and artifacts. Holy shit. 55 miles. That's a lot. Imagine what's down there that's been kept. Wow. Global underground networks and advanced technologies. The Vatican's hidden resources are a part of a more extensive underground network that includes locations such as the Dulce Base in New Mexico. Wow. Didn't know that one. I did know about Denver Airport, subterranean city, and how it's connected to that, and even advanced facilities in Antarctica. These sites allegedly house sophisticated technologies and operate as strategic hubs in a broader network of global influence and power. These historical and current intelligence outfits, technology, and clinical operations aimed at controlling world dynamics. The intricate web of alliances, betrayals, and technological advancements reveal a high-stakes game that continues to shape international relations and strategic outcomes. The origins and current developments of Project Bluebeam. I think a lot of us know a lot of that, but if you want, I'll quickly just go over it again. Project Bluebeam's roots can be traced back to the involvement of NASA scientists, many of whom were former Nazi researchers under the influence of power elites such as the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, JP Morgan, and the Vatican. These scientists initiated the groundwork for this monumental operation. The Rockefellers' lockstep strategy played a significant role in consolidating power by capturing government officials, media entities, and segments of military intelligence. This allowed for the blackmail and coercion of military personnel and government elites into compliance with hidden globalist operations. Objectives and tactics. One of the primary tactics of Project Bluebeam involved creating global crisis, such as pandemics, with the aim of destabilizing nations and eroding religious beliefs that form the foundation of many societies. Well, they did a pretty damn good job last 4 years. A lot of people have been broken from that, even though they're still strong with their belief structures and their religious beliefs now. Still, I saw a lot of people suffering back then. This strategy also focused on breaking down national borders, inciting racial tensions, and blaming nationalists for opposing the influx of illegal immigrants. Remember, their plan is to divide and conquer. Okay, that's what they're pretty much doing. The pandemic, in particular, was used as a tool to immobilize, especially in Central and South America, pushing migration towards the United States, which has been also orchestrated by the Soros Foundation, George Soros. This migration was intended to be leveraged in deep state military operations, political manipulation, and to draw in globalist influences like the United Nations to oversee and control US policies and governance, including interference in electoral process, which we're in the process of right now. The present moment and its significance. The current situation is not merely about electoral outcomes, but about the exposure and halting of deep state operations. These operations include complex intelligence networks, dark money schemes, money laundering, human trafficking, and perpetual warfare, all orchestrated by a globalist cabal steering world events. And some. Okay, there's some of the things that we all know about. A call for vigilance and preparedness. Patriots are urged to remain calm and prepared as the deep state pushes towards inciting a civil unrest and potential civil war. Military operations are in place, utilizing sophisticated game theory tactics aimed at activating specific military protocols, including those outlined in Laws of War 11.3. There you go. Love it. These protocols will be crucial in addressing coups, attempts in military maneuvers connected to election interference and other acts of treason, drawing connections back to the 2020 US elections. Okay? The staging ground and military strategy. Current events are a part of the broader complex, staging ground involving both deep state military factions and white hat military forces. These operations are geared towards an eventual open court martial process and the prosecution of coup participants, particularly as the 2024 elections approach. Ooh, does that mean that the gallows are going to be public? God, I hope so. I'd love to watch that event. Or even a live firing squad. That'd be pretty cool. Ensured safety measures. Comprehensive safety measures are in place to guide through the near-death civilization event now unfolding. Okay, so it's a near-death experience, as we have had this explained to us. This is going to be somewhat, to a degree, a near-death experience for the rest of the world, because what they knew, everything they've ever known, this matrix of control is going to be brought down before their very eyes. And it's going to be like a death to them, because they'll not know how to operate. Whereas a lot of us have been pre-preparing in relation to this, okay, psychologically, mindfully, body and spirit for this. But it's going to be a big shock to the system. And that's why I do believe that the old saying, when they said it in the past, that some people might not survive this. Some people might actually die from the shock of all of this. So, you know, this could be pretty hectic, hey? You never know. Okay, the staging ground. Here we go. Current events. Okay, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. 24 hours approach. Ensured safety measures. My mouse has stopped working all of a sudden. Well, that's pretty shitty, because my mouse doesn't want to work now. Well, that's pretty bad. There we go. Someone's just started playing with my system from inside. Okay. Looks like I'm going to have to use the buttons on this. All right. I'll fix this up later. To guide through the near-death civilization unfolding right now. Okay. These measures include facilitating Donald Trump's return to the presidency and the exposure to the global crisis, such as the pandemic, and human trafficking networks tied to blackmail operations. I'm just going to get out my second mouse here so I can use this. There we go. It's not allowing me to use this one now. Wow, lucky me. Here we go. Blackmail operations and controlling nations. There we go, it's working now. Do apologize about that. See, someone likes to play with me behind the scenes. This is all plugged in here. This is all plugged in, but my mouse just stopped working. And it's a wired mouse. It's not a battery mouse. Advanced technologies are poised to revolutionize the world, heralding a new era led by figures such as Trump and Elon Musk. And we've seen just recently in the last few weeks, Musk parading alongside Mr. Trump at his election campaigns. And it does seem that if Trump does get in, Mr. Musk will actually receive a high-level position inside the White House, I do believe. This golden era promises to end wars, establish a private banking system for all Americans, which is the new Quantum Financial Initiative, eliminate all taxes and the IRS, which is Australian ATO here, and reveal hidden advancements that are currently beyond human comprehension, which is basically 6,000 patents that have been suppressed from the public by the deep state. The capture of Project Bluebeam operations. While the original Project Bluebeam operations have been captured, there you go, the progression of related events will shift into disclosure projects. I do believe that means that it's going to fall under the timeline of events with the catastrophic disclosure. In other words, they cannot stop what is coming. Yeah. These projects may feature in the revelation of an alien invasion scenario strategically connected to game theory operations that expose deep state military maneuvers and unconstitutional activities. These staged events are part of an effort to dismantle treasonous operations and bring transparency to previously concealed technological capabilities. Wow. So the White Hats have got a grip on that. Well, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Take it with a grain of salt still and be vigilant, okay? Stay frosty on that. But still, that's pretty interesting to know. The power of emerging technologies. As we advance into this pivotal moment, super room temperature superconducting microchips connected to highly advanced theories such as time travel are coming to light. These developments hint as a transformative changes and hidden technology. The power of spiritual and technological realities. Jesus possessed profound knowledge about the capability of the spirit to channel energy and transcend dimensions. Indeed, he did. Indeed, he did. And what we've had it kept from Jesus by the Vatican is truly unbelievable. It truly transcends what we believe and have come to understand of the afterlife, and that the soul is truly eternal, as I've iterated to you before about my personal experience of having a near-death experience. Okay, and that I lived and saw myself outside the framework of three-dimensionality and knew that my identity of Chris was still intact. Okay, but it goes further than that. Okay. This knowledge involved using plasma and the heart's vortex combined with the purity of the mind to tap into infinite and 0 point energy and restructure the molecular composition of atoms. This understanding aligns with what the greatest spiritual masters have long known about the mind's potential. Well, this aligns with Rainbow Light Body teachings from Tibet about basically transcending the physicality state into a rainbow state of being, where you are basically comprised of light. You can manifest a body like that, dematerialize like that, travel with the power of a thought anywhere you want, influence over matter, press your hand up to solid rock and leave an impression in it, the hardest of rocks. Yeah, we've seen those all over the planet. Okay, this is what it means. Okay, the potential of the human spirit is unbelievable. Hidden technology and the mirroring of spiritual revelations. Advanced microchips capable of emulating these spiritual revelations and enabling movement through time and space are part of a hidden technological domain. These microchips can replicate the vibrational and conductive properties needed for such transformations, linking modern advancements to ancient spiritual practices. Ooh, interesting. The Great Awakening and infinite energy. The concept of the Great Awakening is tied to unlocking infinite energy and manifesting dreams into reality. It represents a doorway to what could be described as heaven on earth, enabling the movement between realms of creation. The choice to access these profound levels of understanding and existence, however, remains with each individual. Wow, that's profound, isn't it? Oh, I love that. Unanswered historical connections. There are deeper, lesser known historical connections that contribute to the current understanding of these events. Why is Trump's uncle significant? John G. Trump, as I revealed in a previous video, he is directly tied to Nikola Tesla's removal of 80 trunks from the Hotel New Yorker upon Nikola's death. John G. Trump was in charge of that operation, hence how the White Hats have had access to so much technology. How is Nikola Tesla's work tied into this narrative? There you go, as I just said. Who was JFK planning to meet on the day of his assassination? Well, that's interesting. I'd like to know the answer to that question, sorry. Perhaps it was Galactics. Perhaps it was the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Maybe it was someone who had vital information. Perhaps it was Valiant Thor, who was still working with the OSS back then. He was here then. Well, his son's working with the Galactic Federation now. We know who his name is and his grandson. These questions hint at the intersection of advanced scientific knowledge and political intrigue, shaping the course of modern and past events. Indeed it does. Prepare for the current crisis. Patriots and supporters of the MAGA movement must brace for potential attacks from other people, such as the deep state cabal and its dark military forces orchestrate what could be the largest false flag operation of the 21st century. Could be, potentially. Okay, could be. But I do believe it might not happen. This is a strategy aimed at maintaining globalist power amidst a period marked by black swan events, chaos, blackouts, and days of darkness. The purpose behind these events, that's the thing, see? This is a strategy, globalist power, okay? It says right there, globalist power amidst a period marked by black swan events and chaos, blackouts, and days of darkness. So therefore, that was the deep state planning those 10 days of darkness, possibly. Okay? The purpose behind these events are not meant to spread fear. Oh, mate, okay. Okay. And what is actually a white hat operation? Okay, to a degree. Okay. These events are not meant to spread fear, but serve as a wake-up call for society at large. The sleeping sheeple. That's not a good word to use, but we'll use it anyway, seeing as it says it there. This significant upheaval will create ripples that impact major countries globally. However, it is essential to remember that Trump, backed by a military alliance, aims to restore peace and true order. Key messages from the plan. It had to be this way. Q. Military is the only way. Q. You have more than you know. Q. The plan to save the world. Q. Well, I believe there's one more that should be underneath there. Future proves past. These phrases underscore the strategic, methodical nature of the operations currently unfolding, emphasizing a broader plan designed to counter deep state influence and guide society through a transformational period. Conclusion, as the world navigates this era of profound change and revelation, understanding the interplay between spiritual wisdom, hidden technology, and current geopolitical maneuvers provides a clearer view of the unfolding narrative. This is not just a moment of crisis, but a pivotal chapter in humanity's history and journey toward awakening and true freedom. Okay? Here's some... yeah, well, actually, there's no other links there. Just go and check this link here for Stormlight and Mist. Okay, and you can hit that link there, and you can PayPal them if you like, if you want to contribute to them, because this is an independent news source. But what do you think, everyone? That's a pretty interesting report, very concise, direct, and gives us clear indication of what we should be mindful of right now. And what could be coming our way. And is that? Yep, it's come up. It was just taking its time for a second. Someone's still behind the scenes here playing with me because my mouse still isn't working here. It's actually gone. Yep. See? And now make sure that it's working. Yeah, see, now my video's gone. Here we go. Well, that brings us up to a wrap, everyone, with that presentation and report by. Okay. I do apologize if my video and audio has played up a little bit. I also apologize for the audio missing in the previous video that I did earlier today. That's why I did a second video of the actual Supreme Court overruling so that you could hear the audio for yourself. I hope that gives you a clearer indication as to how that particular document, Chevron document, has been overruled by the actual Supreme Court now and stops the FDA and eventually the TGA here in Australia from interpreting energy medicines and healing therapies and new healing centers around the world, essentially eventuating in their shutdown and demise. But what I'm going to do now is just quickly play for you all before I close this up and wrap it up for the evening. This video, which is just a quick message by Mr. Trump and his administration for the coming days and weeks that we face. But we'll do this together. So let's check this out, everyone. It's only a 30-second video.
This is the final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
Right on, Mr. Trump. Right on, sir.
This is the final.
Right on, sir. That's a pretty positive message if I've ever heard, mate. So before I do wrap it up, just quickly, I want to quickly just also iterate to you all just a couple of photos. Whoa. See, someone likes to play with my shit behind the scenes. I didn't even press play. That's what I mean. Sons of bitches ever failed to bloody shock me, eh? But it's all right, ASIO. I got you. This is a couple of photos that I'd just like to quickly show. Now, in relation to that report we just heard about Hillary Clinton's surprise, okay? Now, we all know that she was planning with her deep state counterparts to make sure that the election was going to be taken from Donald Trump in 2016 so they could ensure their new world order. And because of how popular he was becoming and how quickly he was actually going to be gaining the vote and becoming the president very shortly, this is something that she stated to one of her advisors. Yeah, check that out. If that fucking bastard wins, we're all going to hang from nooses. You better fix this shit. Hillary Clinton email to Donna Brazil, DNC chair, October 17, 2016. And there you have it. How's that? That's how much they were panicking back then. But in order to, I mean, when you really look at it, I mean, the White Hats obviously had control back then to make her panic like that. But in essence, we had to let the rest of the world see for the last 4 years what they had to see in order to make or head towards a better future together. Now, what better man than this man here? Some of you might not recognize this gentleman here, but I know who it is. And I'm going to give you all a very big update as to who it is right now. This here is our commander-in-chief, Mr. Donald Trump. For all of you who don't know, Donald Trump attended the U.S. Military Academy, U.S. Military Academy in New York City, okay, from the ages of 13 to the age of 18, okay? And when he graduated, he was Master at Arms, Taskmaster, and also graduated head of his class. Skilled in speaking code, okay? You know where I'm coming from in this. So what better person than this gentleman here? Look at those stripes, everyone. Yeah, that's him. That's Mr. Donald Trump at 18 years of age in New York Military Academy. Head of his class. Graduation. What better man for the White Hat Military Alliance to approach to do the job that's at hand right now. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, that's what I mean, man. This goes back a long way, okay? Goes back a long way. And, you know, considering that his uncle, John G. Trump, was in charge of the operations of Tesla's removal of Tesla's trunks from the Hotel New Yorker upon his death, we can see what positive timeline we're all heading to. So in saying that, everyone, I hope that you've enjoyed this quick update and presentation today and keeping yourselves informed and empowered and how to navigate through this bullshit, because, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how things turn out in the coming days and weeks after this election in less than 48 hours. So just informing oneself and knowing how to navigate through the bullshit is pretty much a good way of staying ahead of the curveball right now. But I'm going to wrap this up, everyone. I thank you again for joining me for this update quickly with the National Guard, this quick update of the National Guard being deployed amid rising election tensions, voting machine password leak, civil unrest, and so much more going on right now. Let's just all pray and keep in the positive mindset and keep in our heart space and pray for those that are going to be facing some possible shit in the coming days and weeks, you know, because I mean, the attacks are going to be relentless on Trump supporters by Democrats, etc. And then you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be naysayers trying to really take their anger out on a lot of others. And that's where the division and conquering comes in. And they've basically been successful in that sense, the deep state. But when I do believe that the people do see the truth of what we've been trying to expose and tell them for all these years, I do believe we'll be more unified in a way that we've never been unified as a humanity before, as a civilization. And when we do, we're going to grow and expand in ways that we've never thought possible. It's going to be beautiful. So in saying that, everyone, I thank you for joining me today for this quick presentation. I'll see you all next time. Take care. I love you all. See you then.